Guys, here I am live. Wowie, wow, this has been a crazy morning and a messy morning too. Let me just make sure that this is coming up on my channel and that the sound is all good. Says I'm live and my channel, I have sound, so this is all good. All right, so I am just going to wait for people to hop on, just quick, and we'll get started. Okay, I see I've got people coming on. So we're going to start. Good morning. I am Brenda Hillard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in North Central Minnesota. And boy, do I have a messy but fun little treat for you. Good morning, Nancy Ann. Good morning, Ginger. Thank you for supporting my Coffee and Create with Brenda on Saturday morning. I come to you live at 9 a.m. Next Saturday, I will not be here. I will try to pre-do or like a pre-record, but no guarantees. So I'm going to actually go on a little adventure with my sister, which I'm looking forward to. All right, let's get started. All right. So this week, the catalog, the September to December mini catalog went live. Remember, if you did not get your catalog from me and you have placed an order with me in the last 6 months, please reach out because I want to get your catalog. If you haven't ordered with me for a while or you haven't ordered with me ever, I'd be happy to send you a catalog as well. You just need to request it with we'll have a Google form for you to fill out. And you will find that over on YouTube in the description down below where it says more. Click there and then a whole list of things will come and you'll see where you can request your mini catalog, right? I have to take my sweatshirt off. All of a sudden, I am warm. My God. There went my trimmer. Well, let's pick it up. And I hope you don't get my backside on camera, but there we have it. Okay, all right. So, here we go. We got fun stuff and messy stuff this morning. Put you down. Look at, look at all this stuff. All right. So, I just need to finish wiping off somebody, we won't mention any names, did not clean up her stamp when she was done stamping. So, a little bit of a mess here, but it's okay. You can see how quick and easy it is to wipe them off with the Simply Chamois tool. So today we're going to be using, I haven't used this in a long time, the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. And when you look in the index, you won't find it, or I couldn't find it. But if you look in your annual catalog and you look right here on page 124, it'll say Stampin' Up! Masking paper. You get 12 sheets of paper for $7. And I'm going to show you something kind of fun to do with the masking paper. So this is just a smaller version because I've cut. But the paper is split down the middle, two sides, just kind of in half with this protective backing. Okay. So is what I did, and just for the sake of demonstration, because I didn't want to cut them all, because it's really pretty simple. But is all I did was line this up at the 1/4 inch mark, and I cut. And I cut four strips. Okay. And now I have 5 because I just did this. That's okay. I'll use it. And then I'm going to keep this in here. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but if you look in the annual catalog, you will see that Stampin' Up! Added a new color called Basic Beige. Guys, basic beige is so pretty. I just really didn't have an appreciation for it until I started working with it this week. And now I am just in love. I'll show you, I think I did last week too. I showed you the difference. So, like, here's Very Vanilla. Very Vanilla looks so bright compared to Basic Beige. And it's just got that warm, earthy tone to it. So, let's see. I can see I have quite a few people on. Maybe people just aren't saying good morning. All right. So I have a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11. Okay. I am going to score this at 5 1/2. And then down here, I am just going to do a random angled cut. Okay. So just anywhere, it doesn't matter, but I want to make sure that I just have this random angle. Look at my hands from this technique. It's crazy. All right. That's all I need my trimmer for right now. And I'm going to fold it and I want to give it a good score. All right. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat and just lay my card down. Now, those little, save this if you're going to stamp along with me because we'll use that for something. All right, so I took the backing off, right? So now it's sticky. And is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right along the edge of my card. And I want to make sure that it's right to the edge. Then I'm going to take another one, take the backing off it, and then the back of this is sticky. And I'm just going to put that right along this edge. And if you want it to make sure it's right at the edge, this one I'm going to trim off just a little bit. And you can see that I came up short over here. So I'm just going to lay that down on top so that that little, oops, I didn't get it. I want it even. Now it is. All right, here we go. Let's do our next strip. And I'm taping right across the, the cut edge on the bottom of our card, okay? There's that one. And you can see that I'm a little bit short. But I'm going to do my cross strip up here because I know I'll have a little bit extra that I can patch that gap. Okay, going right along the top with the masking paper. If you don't have masking paper, you can use the long Post-it notes too, and you would get the same effect, I think. It's just that it would be a little bit more work getting your strips cut out. But that is the Stampin' Up! Masking paper, okay? And again, that's found, I don't remember what page I told you right now, but 120 something it was. You can just go off and find it. All right, so our cut edge is right here, and we've got our border with the masking put in, right? Now we're going to start our stamping process. And I have lots of colors. Let me show you those here. I've got Early Espresso, Fresh Curry, Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, pecan pie, and Cajun crepe. Lots of good fall colors, right? Yes, yes. All right. I don't know. My comments must not be working, or you guys are just being really quiet and sipping your coffee and watching, like, what is she going to do with this, right? All right. Well, the stamp set that I've chose to use, and this was carried over from last year. If any of you attended my fall retreat last year, you know that we made some beautiful cards using this set. And it is called the Autumn Leaves, and it also comes with a beautiful set of dies. And I do believe, yes, this was part of that when the naming convention went with the stamp set, so it wasn't such a mystery. But Autumn Leaves with the dies, it's a beautiful, beautiful set. And I don't know about you, but I'm always kind of a sucker for leaves, leaves, trees, all that kind of good fall stuff, right? Right. Not that it's fall yet. I'm not wishing summer away. I'm just saying. So, all right, we're going to begin the stamping process. And I want to first off use what I'm calling the maple leaf. It looks like this. And for that one, I want to use crushed curry and cherry cobbler. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stamp up my leaf with crushed curry. And then this is a really old technique. They used to call it like a rock and roll technique. And the reason they call it that is so I've put the crushed curry on, right? Now I'm going to roll just the edges of my leaf tip in cherry cobbler. And I'm going to just breathe out to add moisture to my stamp. And then I'm going to stamp it right down. And I'll show you in just a minute here what I've got going on. So I've gone off the edge on the border. I think you can see that. Okay. When you do this rock and roll technique, you do need to clean your stamp in between each of the inkings because you don't want to get cherry cobbler on your crushed curry stamp. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to ink it up with the crushed curry. I'm going to rock and roll in the cherry cobbler. And now I am going to stamp down at the bottom. But remember we have that fold right there? So you really have to give this some pressure on that downside so that you get an image past your fold or past your cut line, okay? And I kind of missed, so I'm just going to try again. And I'm doing this on a silicone mat because it gives me a little extra cushion. And right now, this is just my tool that I use with my, shoot, it's not working for me this time. I'm just going to try re-inking on the crushed curry, and we'll see if we can get a little more ink to come up. I didn't have trouble with the first two that I did, but it's on camera, so why not have some trouble, right? Hmm. Well, let's see. What can I do about this? Try again. I'm not really sure why this is doing this for me right now, but we'll get it. Let's stand up. Maybe that'll help the pressure here. see. Well, we'll just leave it. Well, no, I don't want to leave it. Well, maybe it's what I can do. Honestly, guys, on my first two, I did not have this. I don't know why. I'm bringing my cut piece in that I used to make my line. I'm going to try and see if this will work for me. Maybe not. Maybe it will. Hold it in place. Bring my lead back in. And I'm going to want a scrap piece of paper to put along my border too, because I don't want ink over there either. Well, I didn't really want to do that, but we'll see. All right. Well, we'll just go with this, and I'll show you my other one, but that makes me mad that it did that. You know what? I can't be okay with it. Like, well, maybe I can. Let's see what this looks like when we stamp the leave lines with an early espresso. And shoot, I'm not happy about that. But you know what? I'm gonna go with it because sometimes card making is just like that. That's why they're handmade cards, right? So you see how I got the lines on there? Anyone having issues with the video? Ginger, try going out and coming back in because I don't see I don't see that I'm having trouble. It looks like everything's moving along just fine on my end. So, all right. Geez, guys, that was not what I was really planning to show you with this technique, but I guess, it is what it is. And now I'm going to bring in my pumpkin pie and Cajun craze, and I want to do there's an oak leaf in here that's really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up with pecan pie, and then I'm going to rock and roll again on the Cajun craze, and I'm going to stamp that one right up here. I'm afraid to stamp. It's like, holy cow, what a disaster that was. But seriously, this is a cool technique, and when you see my finished cards that I did not have problems with, I think you're really gonna want to give this a try. All right, I'm going to stamp. And this time with the bigger stamp, I'm going to stay away from our cut line and just stamp that in. And when you stamp these, they kind of look like a muddy mess, to tell you the truth. But as the ink dries, they're really, really beautiful. I'm going to bring in the old olive. And there's a stamp in this set that is meant to be the veins for this leaf. But I wanted a filler piece in here. And so I just chose to use old olive and add that green sprig in our scene here. I'm going to do this one down here on the cut line. And that worked well. So I guess it was just this maple leaf that wanted to give me a little trouble. I'm going to add some green sprigs in along that edge too. This doesn't look quite so Okay. Right. I need to take my early espresso ink and I want to add veining to our oak leaves too. It just adds so much to the leaves. I think that that's showing up well on camera, I would assume. Okay. So there's what we have so far. All right. Now, this step, I'm going to take my scrap piece that I used for our cut line was a little bit small. So I'm just going to grab one of my scraps of um, basic beige, my new love, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment from the stamp set that says, Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. Lovely. I'm going to stamp that in early espresso, and I'm going to punch it out with the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, which, you know what, you guys, I've lost track of which is retired and which is current. I think the 1 3/4 is still current. It just may not be available. But in your stamping stash somewhere, you have, oh, Nancy Ann, thank you. Um, yeah, a little stamping issues, but it really is pretty. I hope you'll just stick with me for this. And I'll show you my other one that really did turn out quite nice. This I die cut earlier out of Cajun Craze. This is the best set of circle dies, decorative dies. It's called the Spotlight on Nature dies. It does come in a bundle with a beautiful stamp set. So you guys look at all of these layering decorative surfaces that come in this set. How many again are there? There's a lot. It is, I think, 12. Six of these. But anyway, I chose to use this layer just because it was perfect for that 1 3/4 inch circle piece, okay? The circle punch. So I die cut that, like I said, out of Cajun Craze. And is what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of stamp and seal to the back of my punch circle. And I'm going to center that on my, isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to just add adhesive to the top part of my circle because I want that to fit over my cut line like that. Now, I didn't mean to glue that down yet. All right, let's wait. Let's hold up on that a second because I want to bring in my blending brush and some crumb cake ink. And I'm going to dip my brush in. I'm just going to lightly, very light hand, blend around the edges of our masking tape. Oh, I got a blob there, but that's okay. I've already messed up the bottom of this card something fierce, so we may as well have some more, right? Maybe I'll just purposely add more in, just leaving that very center. This is so weird. Usually I don't have all this trouble on my cards I do on camera, but you know, Saturday. I got home late last night. I had gone down to Elk River to watch my great nephew play football, and I didn't get back home. It was like after midnight, which for me, that is a big night out, let me tell you. Just carefully peel this back as not to rip your cardstock underneath. While it is a very low tack, you do have to take it slow, coming off the paper. I rip it right there, but that's all right. This card has been a disaster from the start, right? No, I've never had that happen either. There we go. I have one more little piece right here I have to get off. All right, we're good. But you see what that tape does with the frame? Beth, you are so sweet. All right, now we can bring this back in. I'm going to cover kind of that area that I didn't really like. And now when I lift up, let me show you, because this really is pretty when it works. And maybe don't take your big stamp down to the corner. Maybe it's what I should have done was use that oak leaf down here and some sprigs and left it alone. But let me bring in my other card that I did, and you'll see that this really truly is beautiful technique. And see how you get that line? I love that. And then there's another really great sentiment in this set. Um, well, there's actually quite a few, but I love the saying that's in here, and it'll complement the outside sentiment. It's just really simple. It says, with a grateful heart. Let me bring this in. Ink it up with my early espresso, and I'm just going to stamp it right here. And then that will give me room to sign. Put this away before I set my better of the two cards, right? But I thought this was super pretty, and I love, love, love this border. Yeah. Yeah, I love the colors too, Ginger. So I hope you guys will give this a try. I love how blending the edges kind of highlights or gives a focal to the center on this basic base. And then just this little piece down at the corner is so pretty. All right, you guys, that ends this episode 408 of Copy and Create with Brenda. I hope you'll check out the new catalog. I hope you have a great weekend. And hopefully I will pre-record for next Saturday. Until then, bye for now.